I'm Alicia, and today we have an amazing experience for you, Goat Yoga, part of W.O.W Tampa, sponsored by T-Mobile and presented by Mind Body Social. Hi again, I'm Alicia from aliciaa.yoga if you want to check that out on Instagram. And we're here at Grady Goat Farm in Thinota, Sassa, and we have a unique session prepared for you today. This is much more about the goats than the yoga. We're here for some stretches, for a good time. We're not here for an intense time. So again, if you want to check that out, I have more to follow on Instagram, Alicia A with a Y, A-L-Y-C-I-A, another A, .yoga. On Instagram, check that out. I got more classes for you to follow if you want to check me out there. But before we get started, we do have one important thing to do. We need to register for a chance to win a gift card and other amazing prizes, courtesy of T-Mobile. It's super easy and quick, and I'm going to do it with you. Grab your phone, open camera, scan that QR code, or you can visit wowmbs.com/Tampa. It's basic info and takes 60 seconds. Pause the video if you need to. We'll be here and we'll all be back together in just a second. Good morning. Is this anybody's first time trying yoga ever? Ever? Oh, okay. Here we go. Anybody's first time trying goat yoga? Yeah, see, here we're much more about the goats than the yoga, so it's no big deal. I'll be up here doing yoga. If you want to join along, that's great. If you want to just hang out and watch, that's great too. I know what we're here for, So we'll go ahead, we'll get started. We'll get onto our knees here. And we'll just start with a breath. We'll send our hands up into the air, and then we can go ahead and set it here. Woohoo! Hi, guys. Come on out. We'll set our hands down into the mat. I'll give you a heads up here. Once we're in tabletop, it's fair game. So we'll go hands down, knees down, and we're making that tabletop for them. We'll go ahead and we'll start with a breath here. We'll send that rib cage down on the breath in. And then the breath out, we'll send our shoulder blades up toward the sky. We can tuck the chin down if we want to do that. And we'll do the same thing. We'll send that rib cage down on the breath in. And then the breath out, we can send those shoulders up. We can tuck the chin down. And then we'll find our way back to that neutral spine here. We can go ahead and send it around to that right side. We're going to just send that ear toward the hip. Toward all those goats on the right. And then same thing around toward that left side. We'll set an ear toward that hip this way. Hello. Oh, goats to the right and to the left. Perfect. And then from here, we can go ahead and bring ourselves around to the center. We'll just start with that right arm. We'll reach that right arm in front of us. And if you have room to send it on down and they're not underneath you already, you can send it back down. They sneak right under. We'll go ahead and reach it out. And then right back down if you have the space. We'll go same thing, reaching up. And then setting it down. And then same thing with that same arm. We'll send that arm reaching. And folding, and we'll go same thing with that left side. Here we go. Left arm, we'll reach that one up. And setting it back down, I guess we'll just make it work here. We'll go same thing, reaching. And folding. Hello. We'll go same thing, reaching that arm and tapping it down if you have room. And we'll go one more time, reaching. We'll send this arm down, and then here we go. We're going to go down, right? We'll go hips back into those heels. Ooh, that transition. If you can walk your hands forward here, make a better door than a window, buddy. Hi. Sitting our hips back into the heels for that child's pose here. I would say forehead down, but there's way too much to look at. So you can keep that forehead up. Hi. Finding a nice breath here. And then we'll build ourselves back up. Let's see if we can make it back to that tabletop. Oh, nailed it. Here we go. We'll go with our legs this time. So we'll send that left leg. Whoop. We'll start with the left side here, reaching that leg. Oh, hello. And if you have space, I know they sneak up right behind you. We'll lift that leg up. If we have room to tap it down, we can. If not, there's a goat there. That's fine. We just work with it. Here we go. Reaching that leg. If you have space, tap the toe. Whoa. Toe down that dismount. We'll go same thing, reaching. And tapping down here. We'll go one more time with that leg reaching. And then we can tap that knee down. And we'll go same thing around with the right leg. They go under, they go over. They have no personal space. None. We'll go right leg. We'll reach this. And then if you have room to set it down, we'll set it down. I'll just make my way around. We'll go same thing. Lifting that leg and then lowering. We'll go two more times. Reaching here, tapping down. And then one more time, we'll send that leg up. We can send the knee down. We'll go hips back into the heels again. Whoops. Walking those hands forward. I know. Just making our way around. That's fine. It's all fine. You can fold those knees. Those ankles can relax a little here. And then when we're ready, we can go ahead and build ourselves right back up. We'll find that tabletop. Right here, we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. So I can't compete with that. You're right. Okay. We go ahead and we'll start with that right arm, the left leg. We'll send those out to the top and the bottom of the mat here. We can lengthen that up, and this is good. We want to hold that right here, just getting that balance. And they'll test the balance for sure. Reaching through the fingertips, through the toes. And then when we're ready, we can send that hand down, the knee down. And we can fold our elbows to the back this time. I'll do my best here. We're folding our elbows, and we're just scooping ourselves up for that hip stretch right here. You can go tops of the feet down into the mat. This is good if you want to put your elbows down. You want to put your elbows down, that's good too. This if you need a little more hip stretch. You're doing great with the shoulder, right on the shoulders. Wow. And when we're ready with that transition, we'll set it up and back, hips to heels, we'll counter stretch. That low back, we'll go for that child's pose again. We'll get ready to do the other side. So here we go. We'll build this up. We'll go to that tabletop, and this time we'll go left arm, right leg. We'll send those out to the top and the bottom of the mat, and we'll just find our balance. If you have any room, took over your whole mat. Reaching through the arms, reaching through those toes in the back. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And then when we're ready, we can go ahead and send that hand down, that knee down. We'll fold the elbows to the back so we can scoop ourselves up here for that hip stretch in the front. This is good if we want to put the elbows down. You can always send the elbows down, pending space, whatever room we have to work with here. When we're ready, we can roll this down. We'll set it up and back. We'll go hips to heels. That child's pose again. Stretch out that low back. We can walk those hands forward. If you want to send your hands around to the back, we can lace the fingers or pet the goat. You can do that too. We've got options. And when we're ready, we can go ahead and build ourselves right back up. We'll find that tabletop. We're going opposite arm, opposite leg again, but this time if we want to move a little bit, we can add that movement. If you want to just balance, that's good too. We'll go right arm, left leg. Okay, here we go. Setting that up here, we can leave this. We can tap it down here, arm and leg, or we can fold this in elbow to knee. If we want to go opposite arm, opposite leg, elbow to knee, that's good too. So either way, we can tap this down or go elbow to knee. We'll go same thing. Here's two, folding and reaching. And then last one here, we'll fold or tap it down. We'll reach, and then we can go with our hands down. We'll go elbows down. Let's see. I'll just turn this sideways. Here we go. We'll go elbows down so we can reach that top leg. If we want to go for that tiger, pressing the fist down, that back leg reaches. And then when we're ready, we can send that back knee down. We'll go hips back into the heels for that child's pose again here. That stretch, and we'll walk our hands around toward that right edge of the mat. So we can just lace our fingers, sending the hips back into the heels and rounding everything out this way. We'll do the same thing around toward that left edge. We'll just walk our hands around this way. We can lace the fingers and then send the hips back into the heels, get that whole shoulder stretch, that rib cage. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's see. We'll build this up. And we'll go left arm, right leg this time. Sending those out, top and the bottom of the mat here. This is good. We can leave it, or we can tap this down, or we can go elbow folding into the knee. So all these, all options here. This, or we can fold it in, elbow to knee. There we go, making it work. Reach and fold it. We'll go one more time if we need one more. We'll just reach it, fold it, we'll reach it. We can put our hands down, elbows down. And we can send that back leg reaching for a tiger. And then when we're ready, we can send that back knee down. We'll go hips back into the heels. And this is good in that child's pose high. Or we can walk our hands around toward that left edge of the mat. We'll lace the fingers, sit the hips back into the heels on this left side first. And then walking our hands around toward that right edge, we'll do the same thing, lacing the fingers, sitting the hips back into the heels. Walking our hands back center. We'll go ahead. We'll build this up. We're going to do a little downward facing dog. They're going to go under. They're going to go over. Some of them have the horn. Right. So some of them have the horns. So just watching those horns, they have no idea what they're doing. So here, we'll go ahead. We'll tuck those toes under. We'll reach the hips up when we're ready. We can send one heel at a time down for a stretch. That. Yeah, as much or as little as we want. That's good. And then when we're ready, we can go ahead and fold our knees if you have room to fold those knees back down. We'll go tabletop where we started, and then we'll reach our hips right back up for that downward facing dog. Just like that. We'll do the same thing. So folding the knees down, and then reaching the hips back up, we'll lengthen those legs. We'll do that same thing here, folding. And reaching, and then this last one, we can hold it. So we'll send the knees down. We'll reach the hips up, and we can go with that right leg first. We'll send that right leg reaching if we want to go for a little single leg stretch today. This top knee can always fold. If you want to fold that leg, get a little extra hip stretch. It's whatever you're feeling today. Reaching one more time if we need that reach. And then when we're ready, we can send this knee down. So we have that right knee down. We can send our hip down so that we're into that pigeon. I'll just move this way. Here we go. We can wrap this back leg. This is good. Or we can lengthen it. Either way, we're going to fold it forward so we can get that nice hip stretch in the front. We have this hip down. This opposite shoulder comes across. If we want to stay here, this is good. If we want to put the elbows down, we can. Hands walking. Yeah, they don't care where we are. It doesn't have to be tabletop. They'll jump right up. Yep. When we're ready, we'll send our hands right under the shoulders, and we can scoop ourselves up here. We'll get that hip stretch in the front. Hands pressing down, trying to get those shoulders away from the ears here. Open up the neck a little. And then we'll build ourselves back up. We'll find that tabletop. We'll go hands down, knees down. Right here, we'll go with the other leg for that single leg. So here we'll go. Tuck the toes under. We can reach the hips up. We'll find that downward facing dog. We can pedal the feet out again if we want to send our heels down. One at a time. And then we can start to fold. We'll go both knees down to the mat, that tabletop where we started, and then we'll reach the hips back up with that downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing, just folding the knees down, finding the mat, and then reaching the hips up toward the sky. We'll do that same thing 2 more times. Folding and reaching. And then this last one, we can hold it. So we'll fold the knees down. We'll reach the hips up. And then we can go with that left leg. We'll send that one up. If we want to go for that single leg stretch. Here is good. If we want to fold that top knee, we can always fold that top knee. Your hips. The things you hear in goat yoga. Stop eating my shoes. Go ahead and reach that top leg. One more stretch if we need it, and then we can send that knee down. This left knee is down to the mat. We can send that hip down. Like that. This back leg, This back leg can be wrapped, or we can lengthen it. Either way, we'll send our hands forward here. We can walk and send the elbows down. We can keep it going as far down as you need to get that hip stretch. That shoulder comes across here. We'll go one more breath here. We can send our hands right under the shoulders. We'll scoop top of the head, reaches up toward the trees, toward the sky. Here, we'll get one more hip stretch in the front. And then from here, we can go ahead and set it back up. We'll go for that tabletop. Whew. And we'll set the hips down when we're ready. We can off the knees a little bit. We'll go with our hips down. Legs around to the front. I'm getting kicked off my mat. I don't know about you. Lengthening our legs out. Hips width apart, goats width apart. I know. We're working with what space we got. We'll go ahead. We'll reach the arms overhead with the breath in. And then the breath out, we can roll this down. We can go fingers crossed here so we can open the shoulders in the back. We can walk our hands down like that. Or we can reach hands free. If you want to go hands free, that's fine too. From here, we'll reach the arms overhead. We'll go with that flat back toward the sky on the breath in. The breath out, we'll go with the palms together in the center. And we'll do the same thing. We'll send the rib cage reaching, we'll go arms up, and then rolling this down. We'll go shoulder blades apart, we can go hands walking, or we can go hands reaching, either way. From here, we'll go hands reaching, so we'll go with those flat backs, reaching toward the sky. We'll bring the palms together, and we'll go one more time. Setting the breath in, we'll send the rib cage reaching, arms reaching, then the breath out. We can roll this down the middle. Walking the hands down, this is nice. You want to send the toes back towards us, we'll do a lot of walking, standing, getting out of these feet. And we can push the toes away from us here, too. Send those away. And then the backs of the legs pressing down so we can reach for that flat back. We'll stretch it up. We'll bring the palms in, and we'll start with this right leg. So we'll fold this right knee. Like that. We'll send this foot up and over to the other side of that leg so we can go for that twist. We'll go with this right arm around back. We'll go opposite knee, opposite shoulder right here. And from here we can go ahead and we'll untwist and we'll send that foot back up and out. To the right side, we'll send that knee out right here. Get that nice hip stretch, and from here we can walk it down. We'll reach the arms up with the breath in, and the breath out. We'll walk this down here, hands walking down that lengthened leg for that figure 4 stretch. Just folding forward here. That low back, that nice rotation in the hip. And then rolling ourselves back up here, we'll find seated. Lengthening the spine, we'll send this leg in. We'll lengthen that one. And we'll go with the other knee folding. So we'll fold this left knee. We'll go up and over with that foot to the other side so we can go for that twist. We'll go left hand around back. Opposite knee, opposite shoulder here for this twist. And then when we're ready to untwist, we'll untwist torso. We'll send this foot back up and over to that left side, and then we'll send the knee out. For that figure 4 here, we can send the arms reaching on the breath in, and the breath out, we'll roll this down. So just walking our hands down that lengthened leg. Right here, we'll get this whole hip. That low back. If you want to send the forehead down, you can, but there's goats everywhere, so that's optional. Everything's optional. And when we're ready, we can roll this back up. We'll find seated. Lengthening the spine. And we can go both feet to the mat here. Like this. We'll fold the knees. We can hold on to the legs the whole time if we want to just hold on to the legs. If we want to go hands-free, we can do that. Options here. And then rounding this out to the back here if we might have a back rest. Yeah, they're behind you. Careful. And reaching this right back up here with the breath in. The breath out, we'll roll. Rounding this out here. We'll go same thing. Reaching. And rounding, and then this last one we're going to hold it, so we'll lift and lengthen the rib cage up. We round it back, and this is good. We can stay right here. Or we can lift the if we lift the legs here, we have a foot rest. That happens. That's okay. It's goat yoga. We work with it. Right here, we'll go with the shoulders down and the breath in. The breath out, send the knees a little closer. If you want to lengthen your knee or your other knee or both knees, it's your boat. Do what you want with it. And then here, when we're ready, we'll go with the feet down to the mat. We'll lift the spine one more time. We'll go bottoms of the feet together, knees out. We'll go for that butterfly fold to the front. Pending space. Careful. Rounding everything forward here. If you want to send your elbows out, we can always send those elbows into the legs like that too. When we're ready, we'll go ahead, we'll roll this up. We'll lengthen this all the way up to seated. Here we can lengthen the legs out. We'll go outer edge of the mat here, a little wider than hips width, goes width. We'll send the arms width on the breath in. And then on the breath out, we can roll this down the middle. Here we'll go walking the hands or reaching. Again, that's up to you. Right here, we can press the backs of the legs down. We reach one more time with the breath in. We're going to twist. On that breath out, we'll go with the right arm reaching around to the back. And then this left hand goes sliding down that right leg. So we have that nice cross-body fold here. You can pet the goats in the front and the back at the same time, honestly. And then here we'll reverse this up. We'll roll this up on the breath in. The breath out, we'll go ahead and we'll send that left hand around back. Right arm goes sliding down that left leg this time. We'll get that shoulder open, that low back. Hi, guys. And reversing this up, we'll find center. The breath in, the breath out, we'll go ahead and we'll roll it down the middle. Here we can walk again. Reach if you want to reach, we can do that. Backs of the legs pressing down so that we can reverse this up. We'll go flat back, reaching up toward the sky. We'll bring the palms together. We'll start left side this time. So we send the arms reaching on the breath in. The breath out, we'll go left hand around back. That right hand goes sliding down that left leg. And then reversing this up with that breath in, we'll find center on the breath out. We'll go other side. We'll send that right arm around back. Our left hand goes sliding down that right leg. Reversing this all the way back up. We'll go ahead, we'll find center. We'll bring the palms in, just like that. And we can go ahead and fold. We'll go with our right leg in. Go here. We'll fold that right leg in, then the left leg crosses in front. We'll send the knees out. We'll just go with our shoulders. We'll send those up for a breath. We'll take the breath in. We'll go shoulders up. And on the breath out, we'll send the shoulders down, away from the ears. We'll do that same thing. We'll send the shoulders lifting on the breath in, lowering on the breath out, and then we can hold right onto the fronts of the legs. So we can send that rib cage through to the front here. Just fold it. We can keep the elbows right here. This is nice. If we want to send the elbows to the floor, we can do that. Or with hands walking, if we want to walk those hands down. This is as much of a fold as you need. Here, here. Options. And then just reversing this up when we're ready. We'll roll this up. We'll find seated. Lengthening the spine straight up toward the sky here. And we'll go with that right arm. We'll send the right hand around to the back. Left hand comes across, and we'll just give it that twist. It doesn't have to be a huge twist here, more like lengthening, trying to decompress that low back. We'll do the same thing around to the other side. We'll go with this left hand around back. Our right arm comes around to the front to help twist. If we need that twist this way. Hi, guys. And we'll bring it back. Center here. We can send both hands around to the back. Like that. We'll send it into the mat here, and we'll just reverse all that texting like that. So we'll send those hands into the mat. We'll take a breath in with that rib cage open in the front, and on the breath out, we can check in that we don't have those knees hiked up. We can send those knees down toward the mat, relaxing those hips a little bit. And we'll go with another breath here. We'll send that rib cage wide on the breath in. And then the breath out, we can go ahead and walk our hands back up. We'll find seated. Right here, a little more space. And we'll switch this whole thing up. So we'll go with the left leg in first. We'll go there. And then the right leg comes in front. Easy. Says, bless you. Woo. We'll send those knees out. And we'll send the shoulders lifting on the breath in. And the breath out, we'll send those shoulders down away from the ears. We'll do one more breath with those shoulders lifting and lowering. And then ready or not, they're up. Yep. We'll send it forward here. We can hold on to the shins. Help send that rib cage through. Right here. This is good. We can keep the elbows into the lap like that. We can go elbows to the mat or hands walking. This is as much of a fold as you need. We'll roll this up when we're ready. We'll find seated, lengthening the spine, and we'll go with that. We'll go with the left arm around back. The right hand comes across, and we'll go for that twist. And we'll do the same thing around to the other side. We'll go with that right arm around back. Left hand comes across. We'll bring it right back around center. We'll go both arms around to the back. We can open up that whole front of the torso here, just getting those shoulders wide in the front. Take a breath in here through the rib cage. And on that breath out, checking in that the knees aren't hiked up, we can send those knees down, relaxing the hips a little more. We'll go with another breath here through that rib cage. And on the breath out, we can find our way back to seated. Lengthening everything up right here. Like that. And we can just go ahead. We'll send it ear to shoulder. So we'll go to that right side first. Ear toward the shoulder. This is good with the hands resting down. If we want to, we can always extend through that opposite arm. Get that whole neck open. That shoulder lengthens all the way out through the fingertips. You can always use the arms, of course. We make ourselves useful there. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. We'll balance our head somewhere at the top. And we'll go to that left side. We'll go ear toward the shoulder. This is good if we want to just relax the arms down. That's nice. If we want to extend through that arm, we can always do that. Adding a little bit more length to that neck, the shoulder, all the way out through the fingertips. You can use the arms, of course. You want to pet the goats. And we'll balance our head somewhere at the top of the spine, and we'll go through our eagle arms. So we can go ahead, we'll start with that right elbow folded. This left arm comes across right here. Back of the arm, this is good. If we want to tie it all the way up in a knot, we can hold the thumb. That's up to you. We can go ahead, we'll send those elbows up on the breath in, and on the breath out, we'll send those elbows lowering. We'll do that same thing. We'll send the elbows lifting on the breath in, and the breath out, we'll lower. We'll do one more of those, just opening the shoulders in the back. We'll go ahead and send the elbows lifting. Rib cage lifting, and then the breath out, we'll send the elbows down. We can release the arms and we'll switch. We'll go other side. Left arm folds and we'll send this right arm up and over. Back of the showing off. Back of the arm, or we can grab the thumb if we want to do that. We'll send the elbows lifting on that breath in. The breath out will lower. We'll go same thing there. Send the rib cage lifting, elbows lifting on the breath in, and then the breath out will lower the arms. And we'll do one more of those, sending it lifting and lowering, and then we can release those arms around here. Finding that space here, we'll keep our right leg folded in here. We'll cross that one first. And we'll turn it sideways so we can stay on the mat here, doing our best. I know you have like no space left with all those goats. We can go ahead and fold this right knee to the back. This left leg is lengthened out. Woohoo! And we'll slide it down here. We'll go with this front hand sliding. This back hand can press into this leg, help open for that stretch, or we can reach this up and over if we want to go for that stretch with that top half. And then just reversing this back, we'll send this top hand around behind us. This front arm goes reaching toward the sky. We get that whole front rib cage open, that shoulder. And we'll do the same thing, just sliding it down. This front hand slides down the front leg, back hand here into the back leg, or we can reach up and over if we want to go for that top arm stretch. We'll go one more time, reversing it here. Back hand into the mat. Front arm goes reaching. Lengthening up toward the trees. That rib cage is open. And then we can send this arm down. We'll go other side so we can lengthen out this right leg. The left knee folds. We'll turn this way. And we'll slide it down here. We can send this front hand sliding down the right leg. And then this back hand can press into this left leg, or we can reach that arm up and away from it. We want to stretch that back hip. And then reversing this back, we'll send this top hand around behind us. This front arm goes reaching toward the sky. We'll do the same thing, just sliding this front hand down like this. Back hand can press or reach up and over if we need that. And then reversing it back, we'll send that top hand back around into the mat. The front arm goes reaching toward the sky. One more time. With that breath in. And then the breath out, we'll bring it center. And we can stay seated like this. If we want to send it back around, we'll go for that tabletop again. And we'll go knees down, hands down. Like that. And we're just walking our hands down the mat. So sending our hands toward the top of the mat here. Like that. This is good. We can stay right here. This is nice with the hands. Or we can send the elbows down. If we need a little less pressure on the wrist, we'll just send those elbows down into the mat. This is nice too. The knees are right underneath the hips. So we have that elevated a little bit. Finding that breath through the rib cage. And we're going to twist. So we're sending this left arm down into the mat so this right arm can reach. We're all friends here at Grady Goat. Straight side on the breath in, and then on the breath out, we're going to thread this through. So we send this arm twisting through. We'll go back of the hand pressing into the floor, and we can rotate here. And that shoulder open. And we'll do the same thing. So pressing this left arm down so that right hand can reach straight side. On that breath in. And then on that breath out, we can thread it back under. We'll go for that twist. That shoulder's down. We can keep the forehead down, or we can look side. If we want to look over at that hand, we can always do that. And we'll do it one more time here. We'll reach through that right arm straight side. This left hand presses down. Or elbows down if that forearm's down. And then we'll thread it through one last time. We'll go for the twist on this side, then we'll switch. So from here, we can go ahead and we'll send this right arm back up overhead. We'll build this up. We'll go tabletop, and we'll fold our elbows to the back if we have the space for it. It's up to you. We'll fold the elbows back so we can scoop this up again. We'll go for that hip stretch right here. Tops of the feet pressing down. This is good, or we can go with our elbows down if we want to do that. And rolling this down here, we'll reverse it. We'll set up hips to heels. Going for that child's pose here. Want to counter stretch that low back. Yeah, take my spot, buddy. Sure. When we're ready, we'll go ahead and we'll build it up. We'll do the other side. So we can set up tabletop and then just walking our hands toward the top of the mat. We can keep the hands pressing or we can put our forearms down. That's up to you. Your wrists. That nice rib cage breath here. And then we'll reach the left arm side. So we'll press this right hand down. The left arm reaches. And we'll go for that twist when we're ready. So we'll send this shoulder down, back of this hand into the mat. We can keep the forehead down or you can look over at that hand for the twist in the neck. And we'll do the same thing here, pressing that right arm down so the left hand can reach. We'll go straight side here. And we'll twist it back through. We can send the back of that hand down, that shoulder down. And we can look over at that hand or keep the forehead down. It's your neck, whatever you need. We'll do it one more time. Reaching out through that left arm. This right hand presses down, or this forearm. If that elbow's down, keep that down. And then we'll twist it through one last time. Here we go. Rotating here, that shoulder is down. And then when we're ready, we'll send that left arm up overhead. We're going to fold the elbows to the back. Go this way. And we'll scoop like that. We go tops of the feet pressing down. We'll get the hips open in the front here. Again, this can always be here. If you want to put your elbows down, that's good too. And when we're ready, we can go ahead and roll this down. We'll bring it up and back, hips to heels. Like that. We can walk our hands forward. We can send our hands around to the back. If we want to lace the fingers, we can always do that. And we can hang out seated. We can hang out in tabletop. We can hang out child's pose, or if we want to give it a little challenge, we can try a crow. May or may not jump up on you, so get ready. We'll go ahead and we'll send the hands down like this. Starting a little squat, if you want to give it that. Like this. From here, we just send the hands down. You make a little shelf with your elbows, like this. I know it's hard to see with these guys. We're folding the elbows like this, right underneath, like that. You set one knee on one elbow, one knee on the other. We're trying to shift it forward and see if we can get into that crow. Like that. That's up to you. If you want to feel that today, just know they're coming around. The goats may or may not jump. Like that. Pressing your hands down. Sending your heels into, yeah. Nailed it. Sending it back. Just trying, even just tipping it forward a few times. You don't have to take your toes up. Just give it a try, and then eventually you take your toes off. And then from here we can go ahead, we'll send those knees down. Like that. We can send our hips back into the heels if we want to sit back in that child's pose and give it a rest for a second. Finding that breath here. And we'll go with our right leg. If we'd like to, you can stay right where you are. Everything's optional. We'll build this up if we want to. We can send that right leg to the front. Like this, we can go single arm if we want to go for that single arm stretch. We can go double arm if we want to toss 2 arms up there. We can do that. Right here, lifting that rib cage. And when we're ready, we'll go ahead. We'll fold it through to the front. We'll shift our hips to the back, just lengthening that front knee. Like that. And that doesn't have to be a straight leg. If that's a little sore in the back of the leg, we can always fold that a little bit. And then when we're ready, we can fold that knee through to the front. We'll reach that right arm up. She has no space. We reach that right arm up right here. Going for that opposite knee, opposite shoulder for that twist. We'll do the same thing here. We can reach it up. We can go single arm. We can go double arm. If you want to, we can tuck that back toe under and extend, elevate off the floor a little bit. Just carefully like to go under, over, so watch your knees. When we're ready, we'll go knee down. Hands down to the front. We'll shift our hips to the back. This front leg lengthens. Bless you. And keep the knee soft a little bit. If you want to, you can pull the toes back, get that ankle open. And then sending that foot down, we'll go knee through to the front. We can reach this back arm right here. That right hand reaches. If we want to tuck this back toe under and extend that back leg, we can always do that. Here, knee up, knee down, whatever we're feeling. When we're ready, we'll go knee down, hand down, other knee down. Like this, we can stay here in the tabletop, or if we want to go for a full plank, we can make this a full plank. We're doing elbow folds, so we just fold the elbows, and we extend them. We'll do the same thing for 3. We have 2 more. Last one, we'll hover, and then we can scoop it up. I know you don't have room underneath your hips, doing your best. Scooping it up here if we need that. Rolling it down, we'll go reversing back hips to heels. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll build it up. Tabletop, we'll go with the left foot to the front. We can go 1 arm. We can go 2 arms. Getting that hip stretch. That rib cage opens. And when we're ready, we'll send it forward. So we can send those hands through to the front. We'll go hip shifting to the back. This front leg doesn't have to straighten all the way, just a little bit like that. Or we can take the toes back if we really need to stretch that heel, that ankle. And then when we're ready, we'll send the toes down. We'll send that knee through to the front so we can reach this left hand up for that twist. Opposite knee to opposite shoulder. And we'll go through it one more time if we need it. So we'll go ahead. We'll start with the single arm. We can go double arm. If we want to, we can tuck the toes under in the back and lengthen that back knee. Elevate if we want to here. Knee up, knee down. That's whatever we're feeling here. And then when we're ready, we can go with that back knee down carefully. We'll go hands forward, hips shifting to the back. We'll lengthen that front leg here. We can pull the toes back if you need that. Again, toes down if that's a little too much. And sending it through one more time, we'll take that knee through to the front. We can reach this left hand up. This knee can stay down in the back, or we can extend that back leg and elevate a little. Knee up, knee down. That's whatever we're feeling here. And when we're ready, we'll go knee down, hand down, other leg down, around to the back. This can be a tabletop. This can stay right here. That's good. Or we can tuck the toes and make this a full plank. That's up to you. We're folding and extending the elbows. We'll do 4 of these like that. We'll go 3. Here's 2. Last one, we'll hover, and then we can scoop this up for that hip stretch. Ooh. Except for you, yeah. Keep your hips up. And then rolling it down, we'll go back hips to heels if we need that stretch, reversing that low back one more time. Oh, that breeze feels nice. And then when we're ready, just making our way to seated. Doing our best to make our way to seated with the space we have left on our mat, I guess. We can go legs folded, legs extended. We can go with our palms down, palms together, palms to the goats. Good. And if we didn't do a single yoga pose, we'll like take a breath together or something, right? We'll go ahead and we'll send that breath in through the nose. All the smells. Oh, yeah. Exhaling any smells we don't need to take with us out the gate, we'll leave those. We'll just leave those here. We'll go another breath in here. Connecting with everybody outside. Exhaling. Feels good to be all together, right? We'll go one more breath here. Noticing all that positivity, this laughter. This was not a quiet yoga class by any means. We'll exhale. Just knowing that we're in charge of that. We can bring that positivity, that laughter, that joy to any situation, right? And thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here at Grady Goat Yoga. Namaste. Namaste out of your way so we can get all those goat yoga selfies that I know you all are looking for. Thank you so much to W.O.W Tampa, sponsored by T-Mobile and Mind Body Social. Woo! I think I got it right.